Welcome to the TCX podcast. You're listening to Matt from Edmonton, Alberta.
And you're listening to Jarredd, otherwise known as Kaz Tech from Ottawa, Ontario.
And it's just the two of us today.
Yippers.
Yeah, that's what you got. Hope you like it.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't change the channel.
Just mute it. You can let it play.
Yeah, you'll like the show.
Yeah.
You'll like the show.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of news came out this last week. Holy shit. It was hard enough for me to try and pick what I wanted to bring today to talk about. There's just so much stuff, and I want to replace other pieces for other more interesting news that just kind of broke today, you know. But I think
Yes.
What we got to do, we have to talk about it, is PAX Prime happened over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who aren't too familiar with what PAX is, it's the Penny Arcade Expo, and it was made by the two guys who are behind the Penny Arcade webcomics. And essentially, the idea is to give equal attention to console gamers, computer gamers, and tabletop gamers. So it's just a home for everybody.
Yep. And they do what? PAX Prime, which was in Seattle. They do PAX East. They do, was it PAX South and PAX Australia?
Yeah, Australia is the latest in their conventions, but they have them located in Seattle, Boston, Melbourne, and San Antonio.
That's pretty
So
cool.
yeah, they're spreading out. These guys have been busy. It was inaugurated, PAX Prime was inaugurated in 2004, and here we are 10 years after the fact, and they seem to be doing very good for themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when they first started, people thought, why are the guys who make comics going to do a convention?
Right? It just didn't really seem to click for people. It's just such a weird combination of things, but you know, I think it was the perfect time for them to allow it to build and flourish. And conventions are a big deal nowadays. Everybody seems to be going to really anything that calls themselves a convention, even if they don't even really exist. You give money to Minecon or whatever the hell that was, and the guy just ran off with the cash.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing, though, is anyone and everyone can do a convention. I mean, perhaps in a couple of years, you'll see the Console Xplosion convention.
Consploding in your faces all
Yeah.
across the globe.
You can explode live
Yeah.
and in person.
Just wear radioactive suits, because we're not really sure what's loaded in that explosive.
Yeah. It's just a bomb.
Well, don't tell him that.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, just for a couple of highlights, some of the big stuff that actually came out of PAX this year, it is starting to be taken more seriously amongst the community, and we actually got an unveiling of Saints Row DLC. Did you see this?
Yes.
Gat Out of Hell. It looks pretty sweet.
As they, I forget where I read it, but they said it's pretty much like a Disney.
Very
Disney
much
from hell.
Very much inspired from Disney films, of course. I think it's more for the animated
Yes.
films, but yeah, and you fight your way to hell, basically.
Which is awesome.
Mhm.
I think that, the Saint Rose, there's a thing that went from a GTA clone and then completely skewered left.
Well,
It's not the same as what you play Saint Rose 4. It's certainly not the same as the original Saint Row.
No, absolutely not.
You play Grand Theft Auto 1, you play Grand Theft Auto 5. Primarily, they're the exact same game.
Not necessarily.
Okay, one's third person, the other one's top view, but primarily
Or arcadey, run people over.
If you were to
with
go
missions.
to a third person view, same thing. You can run people over in GTA 5 and just not get points for it.
But you can't have sex with people in cars in the first game.
You probably could.
You could do it in the third. You could do it in Vice City. Definitely. Do it in San Andreas.
Yeah.
Since then, it's kind of been neutered, but...
Yeah. But it is what it is, right?
Absolutely.
You got, but primarily I'm saying the core base of the game is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't veered off to something that's as much as Saint Rose has, right? You look at all the sequel games from Tekken fighting series games, The exact same.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up. The only one that ever took a veer to the left like St. Rose, I would probably say would be Dead or Alive. You have Dead or Alive, and then you steer off to Dead or Alive volleyball.
Yeah,
so,
that was fucking great game, volleyball. I played that to death.
I bet you did. Did you get pretty good with one hand?
Yeah, actually, I'm stronger with my right.
The one-handed controllers?
Those existed back then?
No.
Fuck.
You just put it on the table and went and did your business.
Well, yeah, that's basically what I did. I was going to say, like, nobody told me we had one-handed controllers back then. It would have made my job so much easier.
I'm pretty sure in Japan they have one-handed controllers.
Yeah.
They got everything over there.
Yeah, well, there's a market for something, right?
You know what? If there isn't one-handed controllers, I'm going to invent them.
What's his name? The hacker. I think his name is Ben Heck. I could have that name wrong. This is the guy responsible for the mobile Xbox 360. He built like a laptop version of it, and it came in a nice carrying case and stuff. The man's like built basically a hobby out of just hacking consoles. He's made handheld versions of basically anything you can think of, and he's actually been working on a single-handed controller for people who do suffer from that. Sort of, but I don't know where he's been recently. He's got like his own website and all that kind of stuff. I wish I had more information for you guys, but yeah, I think the name is Ben Heck.
Ben Heck.
H-E-C-K.
We'll look that up and we'll have it in the description there for sure.
That's definitely it. benheck.com. You can go check out all of his cool stuff. He's got like do-it-yourself tutorials. You can do it at home. You don't need to buy anything he's done. Anyways, fun little fact for you guys there. But yeah, Saints Row Get Out of Hell, really cool DLC. Kind of hoping we were going to go a Saints Row 5, but we do have Saints Row coming out with more DLC, and if it's not out already, I could be wrong about this, but it will be available on Xbox One or PS4 very shortly here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which is great, also.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty awesome. I think it's a great deal, for a new game. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, check out the trailer. It's pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think they'd come out with a Saint Rose 5 so quickly, considering how much DLC came out for Saint Rose 4.
Right? Isn't this the first DLC for Saints Row 4? Let me look this up. Let's do that. Or are you talking about 3?
Yeah. 3. That's what I meant.
Saints Row 3 was THQ's final stab at like keeping themselves afloat, and we all know what happened with that. Mm-hmm. After that, Saints Row was acquired by God damn it. Now the name escapes me. I'm doing a quick, let's do wiki search. They're reliable, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
it's on the internet, you can believe it.
Mm-hmm. I think Volition is still behind it, but they don't have THQ as the publisher anymore.
No, nobody does. One of the things that came out of PAX that I thought was really cool was the whole announcement of the new 3DS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, again, I love it, eh?
Another 3DS.
And Nintendo, in all of its originality, is once again slapping it with the greatest name. New 3DS.
XL.
No, LL.
Touche.
But, I mean, assuming it will come to America eventually. Yeah, basically, what do we have? Higher resolution screens. Probably a stronger camera, I'm presuming. We have nice new fancy colors on our X, A, B, and Y buttons. Mm-hmm. And we have a new joystick, finally, inspired by the C-Stick, which you remember from the GameCube controller. This is essentially the same idea. We now have a dual joystick, but it's a C-Stick, a super tiny joystick, which I still don't know how it's going to work. It looks way too uncomfortable to play.
It looks pretty big.
You think so? You really think so?
Yeah.
It's like twice the size of the start button.
Yeah. Well, no, not the button. I mean the machine, the whole handheld
Oh.
itself.
No,
It's
I'm
pretty
talking
big.
about the stick. Like, just, I mean, the machine looks just like the same old machine. It's just now we have a C stick and some more colors for you to look at.
Yeah, I know. The button does look pretty small, but whatever. I don't know. I think it's just another loss
Yeah.
for Nintendo at this point.
Well, my question is, what happened with that second joystick attachment they had? What did they call it? That's not important, but they put it out for Kid Icarus because it was a fucking game that needed it.
Needed it. Yes.
And there's been a couple games, other games out there that have utilized it. Of course, now with this new C stick implemented, we're going to see more titles coming out. Obviously, dual stick, because they need that to compete with the Vita. I think the Vita
Yes.
really shines for that reason. But the Vita at least has two joysticks that are the exact same size.
Yes.
And I didn't hate the C stick. I don't want people to get that impression that I hate on the C stick. It's, it's a beautifully designed controller. The GameCube Wavebird is one of my favorite controllers of all time, and it
Really?
worked for that console. I love it. It's very comfortable, and I feel the controls are intuitive for the most part. And I don't know. I feel in 2014 that's kind of like unacceptable.
Yes. Oh, of course. Not to have two, rotating 360-degree push-down button
Mm-hmm.
joysticks. I mean, all controllers have it, but again, we talked about this last week. Nintendo is behind the times when it comes to their consoles
Mm-hmm.
and handheld. Yes, in the 80s, they were the captains of of intuition with the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advanced, but I think that's where it ended. They suffer from the what I feel is the Apple / Capcom problem. Release the same version of the same thing and just put a different number on it.
Well, if we count through the generations of it, this is like if we just consider the DS as the first generation, I think this is like the 8th version of the DS console, is it not?
I believe so. You had the DS, then
The DS Lite,
the DS Lite,
and then the DS XL, and then the DSi,
DSi,
and then we went to 3DS after that,
3DS, then the 2DS,
3DS XL,
3DS XL,
and here we are on the new 3DS.
LL.
LL, yeah. Which is still XL. I was just giving you a hard time on that, but like.
Oh, see, you dick. I knew it. I was like, I read it properly. I'm like, I'm the one who posted the story. I'm like,
Yeah.
nowhere did it say LL, jackass.
Well, it was, Anyways, a couple other changes they've done to the design. The card slot's now on the bottom. Next to that, I see the headphone jack as well as the stylus and power button, which is interesting. Doesn't seem to be a retractable stylus either. Like it's just a regular stick shape like it was before. It's obviously got a more improved three-dimensional depth or sensor, however you want to say it. You'll actually be able to see it from some angles.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to get so much ghosting, and you don't have to hold it like, position yourself like you got a neck brace on and the thing's extended from your chest with like some arm positioning it accordingly. Like you don't have to sit in some weird awkward position now. You can actually enjoy the console a little more. But I just bought myself a 3DS XL. Like this is my issue. They just put out the XL like I think it's no more than a year and a half ago. And here we're already getting the next one, which is more just updated.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's finally got the dual stick. I was kind of hoping that the XL would have came with this second stick to begin with, but no. And the dual joystick that they offered didn't fit the XL console. So, what the hell, Nintendo?
Yep.
I feel kind of
and this one has a micro SD card.
No,
that you can add to
micro
it.
SD is a new addition. I mean,
Yeah.
they've always had SD slots, but
Yeah, but this is for the micro. It's actually underneath
mhm.
the you pop off the bottom, I guess, and then you can stick it in there for more storage.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. So internal, but I think the biggest thing is that they're doing Xenoblade Chronicles specifically for the new 3DS.
Yeah. It also has
that's going to be the cool thing.
I'm not too familiar with the Xenoblade franchise, but I don't know. It's gaining my interest. I mean, it's good enough that a character is in the Smash Brothers game, so that's enough for me to at least consider it.
You need to go back to the PlayStation 1 and Xenogears.
Xenogears? All right, I'll keep an eye out for it. It's an
expensive game.
Ew.
It's one of those... everyone who owns it jacks up the price because you don't get it anywhere else, right?
Well, thank you for emulators, right?
Yes. I don't use them. I don't.
You have to use them. It's necessary sometimes because like these
Never.
markup pricing is just ridiculous. But I do like I'm with you on that. It's all about the authentic experience. You know, get the controller in your hands, and sometimes it's nice to listen to the humming and the loading that the console like just painstakingly just drills your head into because he's got to try and load all those files and shit. Like I love playing my Dreamcast for that reason. Just
yes,
I don't know. It's beautiful.
Xenogears goes for about $50 on eBay plus $10.
That's
shipping.
reasonable. I thought you were talking it up like $150.
It was up there. Now it's dropped from the last time I've seen.
Okay, well there you go, people. Not so pricey.
Yes.
Yes. More things to touch on about the new 3DS though, and they have it like all branded on the console and everything too. Just new, but looks like we got removable batteries finally.
Ooh.
That's exciting for me. I mean, kind of a pain in the ass that you got to do that anyways, but the DS never had that. And I do it with my cell phone already. Like I have a spare battery in my pocket for reserve because if I can make my phone last a total of 8 hours on a charge, which is probably the most I can get out of that, it's still not enough for me to use it in my everyday life. So like either I carry a charge cord with me or I just have the spare battery in my pocket. So, you know, that's a nice addition. We also, because Nintendo's all crazy about these amiibo dolls that they're putting out in the fall, we have an NFC reader and a writer on the bottom screen, so you can just plant your little statue. Its fancy base plants firmly on the touchscreen, and I guess that's how it'll transfer the data.
It's same as Skylanders.
Yes.
Yes.
Your DS functions as the base.
Yes.
Yes. And the Wii U has the same thing with the controller.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But the problem with that is each one of those characters is $12.99. That's expensive compared to the Skylanders.
It is a little pricey. It must.
Are people going to pay that? I know I wouldn't.
Well, I'm curious because Nintendo hasn't explained like too much. Like the benefit of owning amiibos and using them. What the first game is using it is Smash Brothers, and they're talking like you'll be able to like customize their movesets, ramp up their skill levels, and all kinds of things.
Because essentially, each amiibo or whatever the hell they're called, amoebas, has like a new move, quote unquote. So the game isn't programmed with that. So you stick it on there, and then boom, he learns a new move and adds to his arsenal and things like that, right? I thought it was honestly going to be like the Skylanders and Disney
version.
Infinity.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like its own game. You put the characters in there. You can do their own stuff. I mean, just $12.99 to add a new move to Mario is not worth it, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, we're just seeing these amiibo dolls for the first time. Like, it is still has to be released. I'm curious to see what Nintendo has planned for these things, because this is like they're branding it as like a new sort of. I'm sure it's very similar in the technology, but they seem to be describing it a little differently than what a Skylanders doll would be. Like in comparison, I'm sure this thing's jacked up with a little more fancy gear, but in terms of just like I guess they're a collectible item. People will definitely buy them for that reason. It's got the Nintendo brand. That's probably why the price is marked up so high. But I don't know. The payoff. You're playing it, you're selling it to me as like a new gaming experience. I want you to prove it more by giving me more than just like, here's a character that you can play in a Smash Brothers game, which could potentially be one-sided if you have a character that knows a few like newer or more unique moves than the others. And if my Mario has more power than the other Mario, like how fair is that to other players out there who don't really bother to invest in an amiibo doll? Because everything else out there is forcing you to buy fucking money and shit. Like, what's the importance of owning this thing? And you make a good point there. It'd be interesting to see if Nintendo like took this further and essentially created their own Skylanders or Disney Infinity sort of toy box network. You know, just like after you said that, an idea popped in my head. It'd be cool if I could take these characters and just kind of pop them into like let's use the Wii U dashboard for an example. Like where your Mii's kind of just show up in the square. If I could take that Nintendo character, drop it in, and say, I don't know, I download game titles or something, I could use that character and go take it off into the Mario Party room and go play Mario Party. Or I can take him into Mario Kart and go play Mario Kart with him. Or I can, you know, go play Smash Brothers. Like, just give me sort of a network similar to that where I can just kind of take it into your games. And that, I feel, gives me more value to that little character model.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I just think, you know, just the price, like I said, to me, the price just doesn't justify.
They're selling them individual. Like, they're not even 3-packs like you get from the Skylanders or even Infinity. Like, Infinity has a starter kit. They give you everything. Same with Skylanders. Where does Nintendo get the nerve to think, oh, well, I mean, they do their own shit anyways. We established that. That was our consensus last episode. But, like,
yes,
they have conspired some sort of plan with these things. You don't just implement money into this kind of technology without, like, running with it for some time. So I would like to see it not flop.
Yes, but I mean, you can say the same thing as, you know, they put time into it. What about the VR system?
You're talking about Virtual Boy? We're going to talk about Nintendo's flops now? Oh, yeah, there's a number of them. There's no doubt about it. It'd be nice to see if we had something like in 2014, 2015. But I don't know. Can we basically give that to the second joystick? A peripheral? Like,
I think so, due to the fact that, like I said just earlier, Nintendo is in the past. And that is the issue. I think they're behind on these amiibas because I just don't think, you know, they might just completely surprise me, but to me it just seems like they're behind the times with the amiibas.
Well, they definitely see value in this market. Like, there's no doubt Skylanders blew up. Nobody really expected that to happen. I guess Activision saw something in it, but when it first came out, I think it took a little bit of time to actually get the ball rolling. But then once that happened, you know, Disney all of a sudden cashed in on it, and Nintendo is essentially the Disney of video games.
Yes. So
they probably feel like, oh my god, if we capitalize on this thing, like, everybody fucking loves Nintendo, and there's collectible quality and everything here. Like, people will buy it just for the statues alone, even if they don't own a Wii U or a new DS LL or whatever the hell. Like, there's something there.
Yeah.
I just don't really know what they're planning with it, you know?
The fanboys will rejoice and buy.
And that's probably what they're sitting on right now. They're like, well, let's roll this out, see how it goes. I'm sure it'll sell great. Nobody can say no to, like, a good quality. Like, the detail is great. The character models look fantastic. To be honest, I probably would. If I had room on my shelving, I'd probably have a couple. But they haven't really proven to me that they're really worth keeping because, you know, the marked up price and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a collectible factor in there.
We'll see.
We will most definitely see that. So yeah, that is the new 3DS.
Yep.
Fantastic. I love the enthusiasm.
So, it's just from last week. It's just Nintendo spinning their wheels on current generation stuff.
Just raping more out of America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanboys rejoice. Bend
Now,
over.
if it matters to anybody, the console will still be region locked, and it will also have a pre-installed internet browser filter to stop you from looking at all those naughty websites. And
Oh.
here's the thing that kind of pisses me off. There's a one-time fee of 30 yen, which is priced out to about 30 cents American. You pay that price via credit card, and that deactivates the filter completely.
Okay.
I don't see the reason for it. I guess Nintendo is still taking pride on, like, this is like the friends code thing, you know? Like, they're trying to, I don't know, neutralize what is the online internet community.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they feel it's necessary. Like, no parent is going to sit there and question it unless they're like knowledgeable and they're sort of familiar with their background, or they have some sort of like tech savviness. I'm going to use that word. Most parents just come in and they're like, so yeah, Nintendo handheld, my kid wants it. Like, they're just going to pick it off the shelf. They're not really going to think about it. I don't think anybody's going to give a shit if the internet browser has a filter. It's like, oh yeah, just so you know, your kid can't look up porn while he's on his 3DS, so you can throw that computer out because that's useless. Just take our 3DS, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, because you got to filter that when the kid's in the back seat and you're driving across America, that your kid's not jerking off underneath that blanket.
Well, I mean, if I was that kid, I'd be using the cell phone my parents bought me for my 5th birthday, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
And sending sex to everybody else.
To all your kindergarten friends. Ha 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 ha, look at my wee wee. Yeah.
Oh, that hurts my head.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to give you a visual.
Oh, I didn't.
That's on you, sir.
I'm just...
Oh, okay.
The society we live in.
It is painful, isn't it?
Yes.
I'll tell you a funny little story. I was in a restaurant today. I'm not going to say where, but there was a mother and her child. Couldn't be any older than maybe, I'm going to say 1.
Was it McDonald's?
No, but it is a fast food joint.
Burger King?
No.
Wendy's?
Are we really going to do this? No.
KFC?
No. Not
Taco
as
Bell?
greasy.
Taco Bell?
They do not deep fry.
Subway?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Always fresh.
Exactly.
Anyways, continue.
Well, this kid was fresh about a year ago, and this kid was whining and wouldn't shut up. Just the most annoying thing. And to comfort the child, the mother had to, like, I don't know, I'm assuming the kid wanted to look at something on her cell phone. And what disturbs me the most of seeing this, because the kid calmed down as soon as she like turns the screen and like gives it to the baby, it just disturbed the hell out of me, because like already that generation is programmed to just look at a screen. Like, they're just fixated on that already. It's like, I'm bored sitting here, entertain me, and it's just, here's a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think the whole kids nowadays, it's all about technology.
Well, technology is very prominent in society nowadays. It's just like every kid has a cell phone. I had to wait till I was in high school to get a cell phone.
I never got a cell phone until I was like 24.
Well, they probably didn't have cell phones back when you were in high school, so...
Oh, that hurts.
I'm sorry.
They did. They were like those old flip razors.
Oh, they weren't like the big boxes that you hang on the side with the big carrying strap and the antenna that pulls up?
I'm not that old.
Oh, okay.
And neither was I in the Vietnam War.
Oh. Well, that was my next question. I guess that answers it.
Oh, my God. But no, it's like my daughter. She's 3.
Mm-hmm.
She can play... She knows how to use my DS better than I do.
Oh, yeah?
She knows how to play the Vita. We were at EB Games today, and she was playing Vita, they had the PlayStation 4 set up and they were playing a game. She was able to remotely pass it over to the Vita and play on there. And the kid that was on the machine didn't understand what was going on. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
And she's 3. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then the guy, the manager's like, oh, I haven't seen that before. So it was pretty funny.
It probably makes you proud, though. I mean, like, when I have a
does.
kid, I really hope that he's or she is into video games, at least. That's something that the two of us can, you know, share in common and hopefully bond over. But, like, yeah, I don't know. This upcoming generation just... It's concerning to see what will happen in the next 10 years, like where we'll be. Like, virtual reality is just around the corner, and imagine how much that is going to change the terrain.
But think about it. We've been seeing virtual realities around the corner since the 80s.
Yeah, but this isn't like vector graphics and different color palettes to try and make the technology work. Like, they're taking this stuff seriously for once.
True.
They're taking very careful strides. They could have very easily taken it out, like in the first year we started hearing about it, because it created such internet buzz. But this has been talked about probably ever since 2009, 2010. Like, the Oculus, I think, passed its Kickstarter in 2011. And that was, like, the first real, like, time we truly saw a virtual reality headgear that made it work for us. And like, just looking at where it's advanced to in the last 3 years, and it's still coming. Like, we haven't heard anything about a consumer product yet. It is on its way. I heard they were projecting for a fall, but there hasn't even been any talk about a actual, like, consumer product that's up and done. But you know what we do have that's close to that? This Samsung VR.
I don't know about that.
Samsung Gear VR. It's sort of a new thing that they're trying to sell alongside their new Galaxy Note 4. And I'm going to send you a link here so you're on the same page as me. Now, you can already do this with your existing cell phone. I think the Nexus phones are capable of this sort of thing, as well as the Galaxy 4. But it's essentially a peripheral that you can get, and it uses the phone screen to sort of simulate a three-dimensional feel, very similar to what the Oculus Rift does for us. They say it's comparable in that performance, but it's not nearly as high a quality, of course. However, for a mobile alternative, it's remarkable.
Oh, it looks interesting. But it's be interesting to see. You know, I need to see a hands-on or a tech demo.
Well, they're definitely like, yeah, we need some tech demos and some videos. There hasn't been much of that. There has been some software that's been shown. Like, there's a game that's essentially doing a first-person temple run. Which would be kind of cool. There's like a space shooter, which I think is just called Guns, where you just look at an enemy and you fire your gun just automatically or whatever. So, I mean, it's still in its early stages, and I guess Samsung is very excited about it. They probably wanted to come out as like the first truly portable virtual reality product before anyone else, which is fine. You know, hey, our phones could do that. That's kind of cool. They're working close with Oculus, which is the most interesting part of this. I guess they're going to jack up the Oculus software into this thing. They call it Oculus Home, which is a simple interface, but it connects you to their store, where you're going to download all kinds of virtual reality content, obviously compatible with the device. They've talked about a virtual movie theater that they're calling Oculus Cinema. You could play movies in 2D or 3D in a variety of theater environments. And they have 360 videos and pictures where you can essentially playback panoramic content. I'm assuming you can do panoramic videos because it just says panoramic content, and almost like you're standing right in the middle of it and you can just look around. It's, you know, it's a nice gesture. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. That's for sure. I mean, it's just like the Google Glass, you know.
Similar to that retrospect, of course, but
not VR, but I mean the fact that everything that thing does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cell phones are just getting better and more powerful, and speaking of being more powerful, you have that new the PS4 remote play for the new Sony Xperia. You
Oh
read about
yeah,
that?
the remote play thing. You get to play your PlayStation 4 titles on your cell phone. That's fucking awesome.
On the new cell phone, yep. All you need is PlayStation 4, and you set your PS4 controller up to it, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
And apparently, you can play on the other side of the world if you had a strong enough Wi-Fi. Is what the developer said.
interesting.
If you have a strong enough Wi-Fi, you can play it from across the world. Not good, but you can still play it from across the world.
Well, I guess that's one way to market your product.
Mm-hmm. And they came out with like this handheld that you can hold the tablet or your phone in, and it's connected to the controller and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I tip my hat to Sony and PlayStation for all their innovative stuff. The PlayStation TV, the fact you can remote play on the Vita, remote play now on a cell phone.
Yeah.
It's just it's becoming better in my opinion.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You can even get
play your Xbox One on the new Zune.
Is Zune still alive though? I thought Zune died.
That's my point.
Isn't it software now? Like, don't they use that for Xbox Music or something?
I think so.
Wow, that's great. That's kind of like Blockbuster. I hear they do pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's like Blockbuster Picks or some shit like that.
Apparently, they're still around in the States. They're not here in Canada anymore.
No, they pulled out quick in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay,
the death of video stores.
Right?
Yep.
They will be missed.
So sad.
Forever
I do miss video
I do
stores.
miss them a lot, too.
I miss going in and looking at all the movies and being able to pick them. And I mean, Netflix is great and stuff like that, but they don't have enough variety for me.
No?
No. I don't download torrents and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do everything legally, quote unquote. I have like boxes and boxes and boxes full of movies. Like if you went through my whole movie collection and Blu-ray collection, you're probably looking at around over 1,000.
Wow.
I have a huge collection of movies, video games, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
My DVDs themselves, I have like big Tupperware containers, 5 of them just full.
Yeah. And not like, I don't know about you, but for me, sure, I can browse through the Netflix interface and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. I can search. It'd be nice if it recommended me some titles. I think that's there some way or another. But it still doesn't beat just like browsing a video store and just looking at what's on the shelf. Like just getting a view of all the covers and stuff. I just found that a more pleasant experience when it comes to picking a movie title. Like the cover seems interesting, and I don't know, you can just, I guess all of that's there on Netflix, but just something.
Well, no, because you don't have that teenager coming up to you and be like, "Can I help you find a movie? Can I recommend this one?"
Nasty ass guy, 14 years old, heavily loaded with acne, and just starting to like sprout some facial hair, and it's just like, get out of my face! I don't want to talk to you. Yeah.
But it's having that ability to go to like a section, like I love horror movies, to go into the horror movie section and see movies from like the 60s to newer ones in there, and to be able to look at the backs and look at the fronts, right? You can't do that on Netflix.
No. And Joe Blow working there can still provide you with recommendations. Like that's what they pay him for. Like all of those people are movie files. I tried to get a job at Blockbuster. I guess I didn't pass the bill because I completely seized up and I got all nervous when I was talking with him. I honestly couldn't talk about no more than 2 different movies. He's like, "What would you recommend to me?" And I just like finished watching like, I think it was Borat at the time. So I was like, yeah, Borat's fucking cool. Borat's great. It was a job fair. So it was like a quick in and out. I really did nothing to impress them at the beginning, and it just fell apart from there. But like those people are movie files. They love their movies, and it was great work, like Blockbuster.
Yeah. I remember applying to them and it was actually before they announced they were going bankrupt. And during the interview, that was one of my questions was, how's the bankruptcy going to affect the store?
Right.
And the manager's like, we're going bankrupt.
Oh no. Yeah, they probably didn't want to tell a lot of businesses just so that they could keep like functioning.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm surprised you guys are hiring, but yeah, you guys are going bankrupt. You didn't know? You guys, I'll get back to you. And sure enough, it was like store closing on the window the next week.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And the perks that follow, like, for the job were great. Like, you could basically, well, free rentals to start. I think you were limited to like 10 titles in a week or something like that. But you could essentially like get yourself first pick of like the latest releases, just kind of hold one off to the side and just make sure you take it out at the end of your shift and all that kind of stuff. Like, I heard good things about it. There was a reason I was interested in applying for it.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately it didn't fall through. But fuck, what about renting consoles?
Yes.
Like, that was back in the 90s, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64,
Sega Genesis.
I mean, I think they did it up to the GameCube.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't so common in the 2000s, but
I remember I used to live in this city called Cranbrook, and there used to be, in this old Cranbrook mall, there was this hobby store that sold cards and hockey cards and magic cards and all that, and you used to be able to rent consoles from them. The Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and I never had those growing up. It was just a Nintendo, and my mom would go rent them once in a while. I remember playing those, and then just that ability, the big plastic container comes in, you open it up and it's all there, and I was like a kid in Christmas. And then Blockbuster, when Super Mario came out, Super Mario 64. I remember renting the Nintendo 64 the day it was released.
Wow.
At Blockbuster.
You got lucky with that.
Yes. Well, I stood in line and I waited.
Yeah, there was actually
lines.
Rent
the games. Yeah, they were lined up to get the games. I was in there to rent the system. They're like, yeah, we have 2 systems. And I'm like, I want one. And the guy behind me is like, you guys rent the systems? I'll take one.
That's beautiful.
He's like, I was just going to rent the games and then hopefully go to the store and try to buy a system. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was good times. I remember that. But they're not, you can't do that anymore.
Those are memories we'll cherish that these generations coming after us are never going to understand.
My kid will never know that. She'll be, what's a video store?
Yeah.
What's a record store?
Yeah.
It's like HMV.
Yeah.
I thought HMV just sold these movies. What's a DVD? Oh, remember when we say that to our parents? What's a beta? What's an Atari? HD DVD. Yeah.
That can just die. I guess we can put Microsoft's HD DVD attachment to the Xbox 360 along with the Virtual Boy and the
Zune.
The Zune and the
Microsoft
other Nintendo fails.
Just stop. Every second thing they come out with fails.
Yeah, Connect. Hasn't failed yet, but they're going to try and sell it individually now.
Well, they have to because nobody plays the Connect games that come with it.
No. And Harmonix just put out that Dance Central title. Spotlight or something?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they still have software coming out for it.
Yeah.
About it.
But I don't want to dance in front of my TV.
Have you ever played Dance Central? It's actually pretty fun.
No, I don't want this thing to say, you know what, just sit down. That's what the Kinect would say to me. I'd go to dance and be like, you know what, this game's not for you. Just sit on the couch and watch us dance.
Yeah.
Oh, Kinect is pretty damn smart.
Let us do all the work.
You just sit there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be Han Solo.
Oh no, not the Star Wars Kinect experience. You don't want that.
You don't want to dance to I'm Han Solo.
Solo. I really don't want to.
or like I'm a slave girl or whatever.
What? Oh, I didn't even hear about that.
Really?
I mean, I know of some of the tracks. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah. There's a lot. I've listened to them all. There's only one dance game that I ever play, and that's Dance Dance Revolution.
With the mat, because it only gives you so many different moves to make.
I play on the arcade. I'd rather play the arcade ones.
With
I
the
like
support
the
beam in
real.
the back.
Yeah,
Get
I
pretty
can
serious.
I can do the single player, both pads,
Wow,
double. I can do those.
that's
I'm pretty
great.
good. I challenge anybody. Actually, I don't. I'm really out of shape when it comes to
Wow,
that.
no,
But the new there's a place
you'll
here.
beat me.
Arcades don't exist anymore. It's the sad thing.
No, don't they?
There's very little. They're family fun places.
Yeah, you find
And
arcade machines now in Boston Pizza.
really,
Oh, I guess that's different over there. No, not
yeah.
Boston Pizza. My mistake. Red Robin's.
Oh, there's no Red Robins out here. That's
That's a
like
shame.
old people's food.
It is.
You want no flavor food? Go to Red Robin.
Yeah. This episode
Anyways,
sponsored by Red Robin.
yes, Red Robin. Get the best food available with no taste.
You'll be seeing red by the time you're done here.
The food that tastes just as good going down and up.
Yeah.
Can't tell the difference. Oh, sorry, Red Robin. Really, if you want to sponsor us, we will just edit this out. Just to let you know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we'll do
we
it
kinda-
after you hear this. We'll edit it out.
Exactly. So then we'll redo it. We'll redub it, and talk about new things.
We'll
But
pay
the
some more
biggest thing.
Nintendo talk. People love Nintendo.
Oh, of course. But there's another thing I want to talk about, PAX, that I saw, which they're talking about being the savior to the Vita. The new game, Freedom Wars. It looks good. It looks amazing. I think it's going to be a good addition to the Vita. I think the Vita needs some better titles for it. I know they're talking about Minecraft for the Vita, but Minecraft's been ported to every system known to man. So
Yeah. For a while there, though, like Notch was pretty opposed to an Xbox One and a PS4 version. Just, I think, because development was a little funky on them. But now that's all that seems to be talked about. At least in the last month, it's been nothing more than just Minecraft on the next-gen consoles. Kind of a big deal, I guess. I mean, I guess visually it'll look more impressive, but
how many people who play Minecraft will buy it for multiple systems over and over and over again?
I think people, I don't know. People, if they really like something, they will support it. I have also, I'm just as guilty. I have purchased games on multiple platforms before if I feel that they're, worth my money and they need to get out there and more readily available, of course. I don't know. Minecraft is a big, big thing. Like when it came to mobile on your cell phone, like I think that was the next level for them. And it opened up their market to a younger generation, not necessarily people who can use a computer. Like I know my baby cousins, like they're under 10 years. I don't know exactly how old, but that's all they do is play Minecraft on their cell phones. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, kids love the Minecraft, and Minecraft is fun. If it's 4-player, like that's great, because the only one that provides the 4-player option, I think, is the Xbox 360 version. And I would
What about the computer?
Well, no, it's a single-player experience on PC. I'm talking like 4-player split screen.
Oh.
Yeah. See, that would be the only reason I would purchase it on the console. And I've been very tempted to go for the 360 version because, the 4-player experience is actually really cool. But it never goes on sale. I don't feel it's worth putting another full price on it because I already bought it for PC at its full price. And, if it was maybe dropped in half, I'd pay for it. But, I mean, really, I have it on one platform, so I'm good. But there are hardcore fans for this game, and people, do support Mojang and everything that they do. Like, they've come a long way. It'd be nice to see them. I mean, I guess it's a very big platform. Like, Minecraft itself has now become a platform. People are building processors and all kinds of, like, mechanisms and devices just within the software itself. Like somebody created I think it was a 16-bit processor, like very, very small, but it was still capable of like processing information or storing it. I could have this backwards, but one of those two, and just incredible the kind of things that people have created out of that. But I'm getting off of the topic here. Freedom Wars. Freedom Wars looks cool. We just finished watching the trailer. That's pretty sweet. It does look cool. I'm not so big on these kind of like fantasy MMO style games, but I don't know. I might have to pick that up and give it a shot.
Well, it's an action role-playing game. Obviously, it's done by the Japan studio, exclusively for the Vita, which I love. Japan studio. They made some really awesome games that are pretty much PlayStation only.
Yeah.
Loco Roco, Ape Escape. One of their first games was Ape Escape, Legend of Dragoon, Ico.
Oh yeah.
So they developed it with Team Ico. Siren. Don't know if anyone's played that. But more recently, you're looking at like they're working with The Last Guardian. They're trying to do that.
Yeah.
That horrible game, Knack.
Oh, but how was that? You didn't like it, did you?
Not a big fan of it. But they are working with the new game, Bloodborne, which looks amazing. Yeah,
Bloodborne, again, Brian was going nuts for it when we last talked about it, and it's just looking even better. Like, I definitely need to get my hands on a PS4 pretty soon here, I think. I mean, not only for Destiny, which is coming out in a few days, but there's plenty to look forward to within the next year.
See, this game was released, Freedom Wars was released in Japan and has the second highest all-time opening sales for the Vita.
Wow. Next to what, Monster Hunter? Oh, wait, that's Nintendo.
That's Nintendo.
Yeah,
I don't know who the first one actually is. But, no, to me, the game looks really cool. The music is amazing. I like the music for sure. I think they did a good job with that. Voice acting is what you would get.
What you expect.
Yeah, but
dubbed over English kind of stuff.
Yeah. Those don't really deter me from games. I think they're pretty good.
As long as you have the option to switch it off and you can bring out the original Japanese, so you can get a more authentic experience, that'd be good. That seems to be a very standard feature in these kind of games nowadays, but
yeah. But yeah, this game was one of the highest for the Vita, so to come over here is great. I think it's good. I think, but I just don't think it's going to be as big as it was over there. I think the first week they sold 188,000 copies.
Oh yeah.
Approximately within the first month, 300,000 copies. This is for the Vita. That's not a huge thing, right? So it'll be interesting to see if how good it does out here, because the Western audiences are different. They don't like Japan stuff, quote unquote, unless you're a geek like us, and then that stuff appeals to you.
Right. I mean, our demographic is definitely dominated by Call of Duty and Halo and what other games? Battlefield, yeah, I guess that's another stupid shooter.
Anything that's a FPS.
Yeah, it's pretty much cookie cutter. Like, how much further can they take that formula? Like, Titanfall was nice and refreshing because it took the battle above instead of keeping it on like one level. And it added in mech suits. I want to see more mech fights, but I want Mech Assault to come back. Give me fucking Mech Assault. Give me a new next generation Mech Assault, and I'd be happy.
They did Titanfall.
No, that doesn't count.
Yeah, but did you hear about their new mode for Titanfall?
Well, yeah, it's pilots only or something.
There you go. You're right back to Battlefield. You're right back to Call of Duty. You're right back to
People
Halo.
Want it. At least with this, you're getting the parkour and the free running that they've been so happy to have put in there. And it's a very nice system. Like, that's very intuitive to work with. I do love the combat that works with it, but it does get stale quite quickly. I played it for like the first month I bought it, and I even got as far as like buying the DLC with the season pass. Like, I felt Titanfall was probably the one game out of all the other shooters out there that I would probably at least revisit. So hey, save a couple of dollars. The DLC is going to become more prominent, and they're going to force you to have it anyways. So why not? I don't care. I'll drop $20. And I'll admit I have yet to go in and play the. I think it's there. We're now on the third DLC pack.
Oh, jeez.
I tried all the maps from the first two, and I just haven't bothered to go back in. I don't know why. It's just nothing about it really seems to interest me. It's just if I ever feel like going back to it, it's at least ready and it's there for me, and I can play it whenever I want. It's weird how I set those standards on money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's let's see here.
I think I have a problem.
Just a little. The only game I'm looking forward to that's a first-person shooter. Like, I just bought Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
And I played Battlefield 2.
Oh,
was
okay.
the first one I've ever played. And that was fun. Now I bought Battlefield 3, and I've played it maybe a total of an hour.
Yeah.
For the PS3, just didn't have time for it.
Hmm.
Then I was in the beta or alpha for Battlefield Hardline.
Oh yeah, how'd you like the Hardline game?
I thought it was amazing. Once it ran out, I promptly turned around and went and bought Battlefield 4.
Wow.
Just because how good I liked Battlefield Hardline.
Wow. That's impressive. There you go. There's a sell for you, EA.
Yeah, I Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3. I never played, the Bad Company ones. I was more of play a little bit of Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I went and, after the Hardline, I went and bought Battlefield 4, and I've been playing that. I'm excited for Hardline when it comes out. For me, it's exciting, for sure. Destiny, that comes out in a couple of days. I'm excited for that.
Did you ever get into the beta?
Both.
Yeah.
I was in both betas, alpha.
You got pretty crazy
alpha and
then,
beta.
eh?
Yeah, so I've played it a lot.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, I don't want to buy the game and have to do the exact same stuff I did twice, over and over again.
Well, I don't think it will be the same experience as it has been for the last two times, because the purpose of the first two times was, to try out new mechanics and stuff. They probably had a starting point for you to begin at, but I don't know.
The beta was pretty much the start of the game. That gave you the story.
Really?
That gave you the story. They gave you cutscenes. They gave you, here's what you're doing and why you're doing it. The alpha was pretty much, they threw you into the second mission of the beta, and that's what you're doing. I totally veered off and did my own thing.
Yeah.
Go this way. I went other way, and I went underground and ended up somewhere I wasn't supposed to, or things that were in triple digit. And I'm sitting there trying to kill him, and I'm a level 4. So, not good, but I understand the game. It's fun. I really enjoy it. I think it's going to be amazing. If you have friends that play it, you play together. It's great. It is what I think, as they say, quote unquote, a Halo killer.
Yeah.
I think it's going to give Halo a run for its money, for sure.
It's kind of ironic, too, because it's a Bungie-developed title.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, here, we hand the keys over to Microsoft, and then we just crush it underneath them. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think that's what certain companies need to do. Just pretty much like what Kenji, the Mighty Number 9, is doing.
Kenji Inafune, right?
Inafune, there you go. Yes. Mighty Number 9, what they're doing to Capcom and Mega Man.
Yeah.
Here you go. You don't want to make my game, I'll leave. I'll make a game that's pretty much just like it and blow you away to show you how much sales and how much people want it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, people just want to experience a new Mega Man game. They don't really care how it is. It's just Mega Man. And it's in Inafune's hands, so it's in, the right hands, and it will be given the respect it deserves. And
minus that whole controversy when it first started.
Well, yeah, of course.
That
Capcom
whole,
got all full of themselves.
no, I'm talking about that whole Dina, one of the moderator situations.
I'm not
if nobody
familiar.
if nobody knows what that is, that was the whole. She's one of the moderators um, for Mighty Number Nine. She claimed in her thing that she's never played a Mega Man game before, but she's part of this Mighty Number Nine, and she's dating one of the developers, and she wanted to push female playable characters. Like, let's gender switch the main character and make it a girl instead.
Oh, yeah.
And she claimed that she wasn't a feminist and blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, it's the internet. You put it on the internet, it's going to be found. They had this whole thing where people found, like, stuff where she posted that she was a feminist and all that. Oh, it was this big thing. And it was pissing off people who invested, right? This is not what we wanted. And they were asking for their money back because of this whole situation.
Yeah, it's not an investment, though. Like, no. You've just given your money. Like, that's the agreement on Kickstarter. You must understand that the money, once it leaves your wallet, is now with these people, this developer. We can't promise you the game will come out, and it's not like you're going to get it refunded if the project fails. It's there, and they're going to do what they want with that money. It might not necessarily be exactly as it was pitched, but things can change, and stuff evolves, and it happens. Yes, it'll create outrage, and they must have heard from the fans over this situation, but like when people sit there and demand their money back, like, sure, I guess it's like a big middle finger to the developer being like, how dare you carelessly just like run with the money that I've given you. But I mean, people buy games in beta state, like Steam Greenlight. We've had some titles pulled off of Greenlight. Like, imagine the people that paid for the Stomping Ground. Is it Stomping Ground, the Stomping Land? I'm not sure if you're familiar with what's going on with this, but there's some situations going on where that game has now been pulled off of Greenlight. So what's happened now with all those people who paid for that title? I don't think they're going to refund. The developers got their money. It'll help the game advance more and have them put more time into it, but like, I don't know. That's just how it works. That's business. It happens in corporations. Now we're just seeing it on a more smaller scale. And this isn't like a consumer. I have a receipt. I would like my refund back. You're taking a chance with somebody who's promising to provide you with this product. Mm-hmm. And it just blows my mind that people don't seem to grasp that idea.
But we live in a consumer world now.
In a world
where everything. No, go ahead.
In a world where it's just all about customer service, right? The customer's always right. It's my money. I'm giving you my money. You don't deserve my money if you piss me off, so fuck you, give it back. Whoever
invented that the customer's always right deserves to be punched in the stomach.
Yeah.
Because that's now been blown way out of proportion. Mm-hmm. I worked retail a lot, and customers, you fill out an order form, and then you have them look at it and read it and double check it and initial it and sign it, and then you take the order form and fill out exactly what they have on the sheet, and then they tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Customer, but you're a fucktard. Here's your initials. Here's your stuff. Oh, but I'm right. I want it all redone. Well, no, because this has cost us $10,000. I'm not redoing it for free because you screwed up.
Yeah.
Well, and then they call head office, and then head office says, "Oh no, you've buckled. We got to do it." And it's like,
it's all about the image of the company, right? Otherwise, this person will besmirch our character and totally slander our name and just run wild with it. And you know what? It happens to everybody. You go to a restaurant, you don't like the food there. You know what's going to happen?
They spit in it.
What do you mean they spit in it? The business or the consumer?
When you say, God, this food sucks, and they send it back, and we'll reheat it for you. It's spit on.
Yeah.
Just dropped on the floor.
Let's jump ahead a couple of more steps. Like, say that they finished their time in the restaurant, and they just didn't feel it was a pleasant experience. Whether or not the food was good, say that the waitress was terrible, or I shouldn't say waitress. I could assume he's a waiter too. But, just say that the overall experience wasn't up to their standards, and they didn't really feel as appreciated as, I don't know, for some reason a consumer feels they're entitled to. But if they don't like it, they're just going to tell their friends not to go there. It's like, oh, don't go to that business. Go to, elsewhere. Like, just don't support this business. That's just going to happen. Like, this is people that talk. This is just how we have too big of a population to avoid that completely. So why try and diminish that? It's all just word of mouth.
It's, again, it's just like what I've always done is grassroots marketing. Someone has a good experience, they'll tell 2 people they had a great experience.
Yeah.
They have a bad experience, they'll tell 20 of people that they had a bad experience.
Right.
That's the society we live in. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit.
But then you like meet the guy who's just kind of like, yeah, so like I went to this place and here, let me tell you, I went to a restaurant. I'm not going to say what. Don't bother questioning it. The bun.
Was it Red Robin?
No, it was a sit-down dining experience though, and the bun that I got with my burger just so happened to be moldy on the bottom, like a very small speck. And I used to work in a kitchen. I can understand. It's a very basic oversight. I wouldn't have noticed it if my burger just so happened to have fallen out of my hands, fell like top on the bottom of the plate, and having it stare at me right in my face. And all I did is simply make a comment, and the waitress took care of everything. My meal was written off. I was even given 10% discount and complimentary dessert for the trouble. And I wasn't making a fuss out of it or anything like that. But that, I feel, is like a good experience. Like, I appreciate that they were willing to do that for me, although it wasn't necessary. And
was it Chili's?
No. No.
Obviously, you don't want to talk about the good experience you had. You don't want to tell the name, but you'll slander Red Robin.
You got Red Robin out of me. I wasn't gonna say anything.
You slandered Red Robin, but you won't say the good experience you had. I mean,
yeah, and maybe that's the bad thing about society is that we're more willing to talk shit about something than actually give it compliments.
There you go. See, I worked in the repo business, so this whole customer always
repo,
right thing.
that's interesting.
This whole customer's always right thing. I had to deal with that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, myself and one of the co-founders, we worked in the repo business together, and that's oh well, customer's always right. Yeah, but you're 9 months behind.
Yeah.
You ran with the product. We found you.
Yeah, it's your own fault. Like, it's our job to basically underline your idiocracy and.
Well, you guys are mean. You're talking mean to me. You won't give me a chance. You had 9 months to pay your bill.
Yeah.
And you ran. You moved it to a different city. You thought you'd get away with it. We tracked you down. We found you. We just want our stuff back. And you can go along your merry way. Oh, I can't. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. I repoed stuff like Christmas Day from people, bunk beds from children, and they have like a TV, a dishwasher, and bunk beds, and you go there to repo all their stuff, and they have enough money to pay for one item, and they say, "Oh, we'll keep the TV, but take my kids' beds." Yeah, we took their TV and left the beds, and took the money and said, "You can pay for the beds. We'll take your TV and your dishwasher."
Yeah. Because kids need a bed, man.
It's essentials over,
right?
It's necessity over wants. And that's what, the whole business was about.
Yeah.
And, people slandered our name and whatever. But the thing is like,
them off.
Well, yeah, the bad experiences is like, look, all you had to do is pay your bill. That's, 100% of the problem. Mm-hmm. Return your product, return what you have, or pay.
Right? So that's simple.
It. I don't understand the problem, but you want to make a big deal of it. You want to, flutter around. Oh, I'm going to call your head office. I'm going to call this and that. And blah, blah, blah. Customers are always right. And of course, the companies always buckle. It's like.
See, even with a repo business that happens?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How can you dispute that? Customer is always right. Like, unless there's like some misfiling or something. I don't understand how that can be disputed.
Well, it's like this. We repo someone that skipped, so they've been delinquent for over 90 days. Mm-hmm. The file's over a year old. We find them, we repossess them, and then they come to re-rent from us. and we're told to do it.
Well, because they're bringing you money.
Yeah, but they skip again.
Right? But then you can repossess that and then sell it again for the full price, right?
If you can find them.
Yeah.
We've had people come in and rent, the whole shebang and then disappear.
Without a trace, eh?
Without a trace.
Wow.
That's the way it is. But anyway,
such a shady business.
Off top.
Yeah, way off. But that's fine.
It is what it is, folks. I apologize. But again, we were talking about what were we talking about? What do we talk about?
You know what? I did lose my train of thought. Customers always right.
Red Robin.
Talking about restaurants.
You're talking about a restaurant you like that you won't talk about. Red Robin, you should.
Kickstarters. And people wanting to refund their Mighty Number 9 over the gender swap.
Right.
And that's kind of where we veered off onto our tangents.
Touche.
So, I mean, is there any more to add on to Mighty Number 9?
No, that's just, the fact that, Kenji Fune is giving the big finger to Capcom and coming out with his own thing.
Yeah, and the spirit of Mega Man is strong in this game. Like, if you don't think it's a Mega Man title, you are missing something, because this is Mega Man.
Never played it.
The character, Mighty Number 9, even looks like Mega Man. He's got a resemblance to him.
The secondary girl character's name is Call.
Interesting.
What's the secondary character's name in Mega Man? Roll. They look exactly the same because it's rock and roll.
Rockman and Roll. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was. It was trying to be a music reference.
Mind blown.
Hey everyone, you want to record video game footage to your computer and be like cool guys like us? Well,
I do.
ConsoleXplosion.com, you can actually click our ad right here on the bottom, and you can get a Roxio HD video recorder for 20% off the regular price. That's right, save 20% off by just clicking the ad or link in the description, and you can get yourself any Roxio products that they offer 20% off. That's a huge deal.
20%?
That's right, 20%.
Holy shit.
20 and a little percent sign. I don't know what those are called. Percent signs? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
All right. Either way, check it out. Links in the description. Ads right here. Hopefully you pick it. Check us out. Again, that's www.theconsoleexplosion.com. Scroll to the bottom. Back to the show. So is there anything else from PAX that blew you away?
Let me just take a pick here. I would say, okay, are you familiar with Deep Down?
No.
All right, this little title has kind of fallen under radar for some time. Since recently, it's resurfaced with a new trailer premiered at PAX, and this is a title that was unveiled when the PS4 was unveiled. And I'll show you a little trailer here. Oh, is that next on the playlist? I can't just go to it? Okay, we're going to X this one. There we go. Okay. So this looks great. I mean, there's not much to say about it because there hasn't been much detail given. We kind of thought it went away, it went the way of The Last Guardian. Like, we're just not going to see it. It was more of a tech demo, whatever. Conspiracies. It looks totally epic. There's all kinds of particles flying, blood, violence. The action looks awesome. And visually, it's really nice. Really nice to look at.
Well, visually, it looks stunning.
And these are all just work in progress. Like, this is not final product here.
Wow. It does give me a vibe of Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Hands down. It looks like it's 2-player.
Like online 2-player co-op or like split screen?
Looks like online.
Yeah.
2-player. That's what I wish Skyrim was.
Two-player
That's what
split.
I
Oh,
wanted.
online?
Two-player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Online,
Yeah.
anything really. Like, I want to get that. Of course, we have Elder Scrolls Online, which is like, let's incorporate the entire universe. But just give me Skyrim. I want to do Skyrim.
Yeah. Just Skyrim.
Like, how hard is that, guys? It's on PC. I'm sure someone out there could hack it.
They've hacked every game out there. So.
Did you know that they're recreating Oblivion inside of the Skyrim engine?
Wow.
There's a team out there that is committed to making it work.
It's amazing.
They've actually hired voice actors, and they're making it like as authentic as possible.
Hopefully, they don't get shut down.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Speaking, this is one thing I wanted to talk about because I know we're going to talk about PAX stuff, but this is totally a whole different thing. One thing I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Of being, a project that's being done by fans for the fans is the despecialized versions of the original trilogy of Star Wars.
I saw that. I saw you share that, and I don't even know what to say about it. It's beautiful. I love what they're doing with this thing. It's so interesting. And even just like watching the footage that they had from the original negative, like that just nostalgia.
For the people that don't know, you have to watch this. I think it's like 11 minutes.
It is 11 minutes, and I'll admit the guy's voice on the video is a little annoying. But if you can get over that and just look at the visual detail that's been put into it, and the contrast, the difference that they compare each footage to, like it's incredible. They're literally taking small sections out of other formats of the Star Wars just to piece together what they're believed to be the original footage, and they use the negative as reference, of course. Yeah. I've watched this video like 3 times. I just can't get enough of it, and there is a way to retrieve it. Through all in the details of the video, there is a way to
you can actually order it online. You can actually order it from them, and they'll send you a physical Blu-ray copy of these movies. So, and they're priced reasonably, and it's their Blu-ray, the highest definition, and it's like the 1977 versions of these movies. And they take from 9mm negatives to 35mm to the 1994 VHS releases to the 97 special edition, to the 2004 DVD special edition, to like the newest ones. And they take all those different formats, put them together, and the Blu-ray one that came out, they put them all together, and they make this thing that eliminates all of George Lucas's specialized
revisions,
revisions that
updates.
made the movie better, quote unquote.
I loved seeing that footage of like old school Jabba, like first gen Jabba, let's call him, like original animation, and it just, I don't even know. I'm speechless. Like, I want to watch it. I love Star Wars, and I don't know why I can't see this version of Star Wars. Like, Disney, come on, just put it out there. If you got it, you have it. But like, these people have been working on this project for, what has it been, easily like a decade, and just more people become introduced to it as it just gains a cult following, and everyone's contributing now. Like, even other side projects that are trying to do the same, like Project Blue, which is trying to improve the color palette that the Blu-ray copies have, or something like that. Like, they said that the color palette got all screwed up, and it became so vibrant.
Like a blue to a regular color. The fact that they take high resolution screenshots of matte paintings or images of like the Millennium Falcon and put it into the movie. And then add in the animation from them walking or whatever on the bottom from the original. And it's just, you have to watch the video. Like, if you haven't seen it, check out the link. Watch the movie, watch the video. It's good.
It's 11 minutes, but it's well worth your time. And if you're by any stretch of the imagination a Star Wars fan, this will definitely get you cream in your pants.
Pay for it, buy it, do it.
I'm sure you have like, I'm sure you already have like the VHS, the DVD, and the Blu-rays, and probably some special editions in there. But come on, just drop a little bit more money down. You know you want to do it. This is original Star Wars trilogy in its glorified original format in Blu-ray quality. It's beautiful.
Yep. And,
Absolutely beautiful.
I tip my hats to everyone at the original trilogy.com. They did a really good job. And they're still working on it. They're still making those additions to it, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah, like
for them
right
to
now,
continue doing it.
Yeah, like right now they're on version 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's just, it looks great already for what they're at. I don't know what else they could throw in there, but there just seems to be like the most minute detail. Like they just go in there and they cut out a little piece from like some other format that it was on, and they just like borrow that footage like a little puzzle piece. Just think about it. It just goes in there, and then they go through all kinds of revisions and compiling and all kinds of special video techniques to try and make it blend in well with the high definition video. And it's crazy how seamless it is. Like you almost can't notice. If the guy didn't explain it to me, I wouldn't ever see it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Hands down. It's just, again, amazing. I'm just at awe with the whole thing. I think they just did a good job, and they're continuing to do a good job on it, and I'd purchase it in a minute.
Yeah.
A minute.
If I had the money. The expendable income just isn't there for me.
Yeah.
But there are alternative ways to retrieve it. They've also provided, you can download parts of zip files, which then have to be compiled into, I think it's an ISO image file, which you then burn onto a dual layer DVD disc, which will provide you still a comparable quality as it would be on Blu-ray, and it can still be played in Blu-ray players. It's a little tedious. It does take some time. Yes, you got to download these files. They're not very big, like 100 megabytes a piece. And they even provide you links to software they recommend to help make this easier for you. But they want to get it out there, and they know this is something that the fans want. And they're not, they're not asking for money. They're just like, whatever you want. Like, if you like what we're doing, contribute, buy a collector's pack. We have the case, the case to the Blu-rays are incredible. Like
amazing.
The art design and everything to them, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I think the best thing is the fact that they have the original Palpatine.
Yeah.
The original Palpatine in the movie, not episode 1, 2, and 3.
No.
Palpatine.
No. This is OG Star Wars at its finest.
Oh, it's just, yeah, just talking about it makes me want it. Folks, check it out for sure. Mm-hmm. Links in the description. Check the video out. We're not going to play the video because, like I said, it's 11 minutes.
Yeah. And we've already seen it. It's not like we got to introduce each other to it, but we're very familiar with it. You all need to go check it out for sure, though.
Mm-hmm. And I think the last thing that we should probably talk about, because we were talking about trolls in society, and this was the term that you brought up to me earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Swatted.
Swatting, actually.
Oh.
But there's like different variations you could spin to it. Like that guy got swatted, or this guy's a swatter, or he's just swatting. For those of you who might not be familiar with what we're talking about, to keep it as simple as possible, it is a prank that's been born off the internet. I think it's more prominent in amongst a gaming community, which really puts a bad name on us, of course. But you essentially just call up the SWAT team to somebody's house. Like, I don't know, you make a terrorist call or whatever the hell it is, and you get them to raid this guy's house for whatever reason. Who knows? Whether he pissed you off or you're being a sore loser. Like, people make stupid reasons to do that kind of shit. And this kid thought it was a good move on his part. And I don't really know. I don't even know what his motive was. 15 years old.
I'll tell you his motive. I got it right here.
Okay.
Defense lawyers told the courtroom that Horner, who goes by a gamer tag Badass Dog 69.
Yeah, that made me laugh so hard. Like, you just know he's a dick.
You know he's one of those 15-year-olds who's like, I just owned you, punk.
Yeah, he talks a lot of smack.
Your mama's on my dick. You know that, right? You know
exactly.
First-person shooters has ruined the internet. I play that's why I like Battlefield, because you can talk with just your group.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to everybody. Call of Duty, you listen to everybody, and it's just constant Mama.
You can still go into private chats. Like mostly everybody does
really?
it on the Xbox Network now. I'm sure PlayStation does something similar to that.
No, they don't have that
The
wonderful.
PS4
setup.
does.
The PS4 does. PS3 doesn't. I play Black
Okay.
Ops, and
All right. Sorry.
I have
My bad.
Ghost for the PS4, but you just turn your microphone off and it's fine. But
Yeah.
anyways, Badass Dog 69 was upset after being repeatedly beaten by a fellow gamer on Battlefield 4. After obtaining the rival's gamer information, prosecutors say Horner called the police and reported a murder hostage situation at the home. This was the 911 call.
Wow.
I just shot and killed 4 people. If any police enter my home, I will kill them too.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And this happens a lot with live streamers.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. The most interesting thing about it is that the victim's family, well, the victim is a live streamer. I don't actually know what tag he's goes under, but he's playing Counter-Strike. Like Global Offensive, that's what he was doing. He was just live streaming, and then the SWAT team basically raided his house. It's all on camera. There's actually a full like 6-minute video of it.
Yeah.
Just circling on YouTube.
But this has been there's been a few swatters or swatting going around, because this one's a little different because what is here? SWAT team then raided the house, shooting and critically injuring the live streamer's father in the process.
I didn't hear he was in critical. I thought they just subdued him, like fired him in the arm or the foot or something. That's, oh my god, that's so sad.
Yeah, and this is the first, I guess this is the first time this is of course in the States, you know, God bless America.
Love our guns.
Under the Patriot Act. You know, this was a homeland security threat.
Yeah.
So this 15-year-old is now been sentenced to 25 years to life.
That means without bail, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This kid's not getting out of jail till he's 40 years old. This kid's not going to experience his graduation. Probably, if he hasn't had it yet, his first girlfriend, that'll happen when he's out.
He'll find his girlfriend in there. Don't
worry. He'll make plenty of friends, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that kid, like, it, unbeknownst to him, completely fucked his life over just because he wanted to get back at a pro gamer of all things. Like, this guy, I think he's classified as pro. Like, that's not a title that gets thrown around. You kind of earn that. Either you gain a sponsorship or you have a following, whatever it may be. Like, this kid shows talent, and just for being a poor sport, why the fuck do you call the police on him? Like, haha, it's funny. These guys don't really pose a threat, but, you know, nobody really, like, thinks through before they do it. You know, what are the repercussions that follow this? Like, what happens if, you know, something seriously happens? The reason it's getting so, like, exploited and blown out of proportion is because the victim's father was so critically injured. They've hit him with 2 accounts of domestic terrorism to give him this 25 years to life, which is pretty heavy to put on a 15-year-old. I saw some shots. He was bawling his eyes out. Like, he was so sorry for what he did. There's no doubt about it. It's unfortunate for him that he had to be the one exploited and made the example of, because this has just been a long time coming. I don't know how many cases of swatting that has happened, but every time I hear about it, it just, I hang my head in shame for all gamers out there, because it really puts a bad name on us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it happens in other communities. I just feel it's more prominent in amongst our community because people already talk smack, and yeah, people are poor sports when it comes to video games sometimes. Like, real sore losers. And nobody stops to think, like, it's just a video game, it's no big deal. Like, for all I know, this kid could have just been envious of the streamer for whatever it is, maybe the attention he got or all that kind of stuff. Like, there's so many different things that could factor into it. Whatever gets into people's heads to think that that was a good idea, just, they probably deserve to be behind bars.
Oh, of course, I totally agree. I think the kid, the sentence, he deserved the sentence he got, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think the society we live in you know, this should be a wake-up call to everybody who plays video games, right? You talk the smack, 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 smack. You do something stupid, there's repercussions for it.
You get a smack back. Like, it's going to happen. Not everybody.
I don't know how many times I've been told that I'll be fucked in the ass, blah, 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 when I play.
By a 12-year-old, right? Like, isn't that
12-year-old.
disturbing to think, like, how are you going to do that? I'm, like, so much bigger than you.
Yeah, I'd love to see you try. But then,
exactly.
you say anything and they're like, oh, you're gay. It's like, oh my God.
That's because there's, like, this anonymity amongst online chat still, despite what Google's trying to do with, like, implementing Plus with YouTube and Facebook doing their thing. And they're trying to integrate that stuff with gaming experiences to make it more, not just personalized, but all of your accounts kind of get tied to that sort of stuff. So we do know who you are, but it's still hidden behind that username. And sure, say what you want to say, but, like, don't go calling the fucking SWAT team on anybody. Like, who the hell are you? That's time and money wasted.
Mm-hmm. If you have a problem with me owning you in a video game, please come to my house and talk to me.
Have a slap fight.
Face to face.
Let's play Bloody Knuckles.
There you go. And we will handle it like
gentlemen. Exactly.
Agreed. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much more to say about that. Like, that's just pathetic. Like, I think that's all I got to say about that thing. Anyways.
Yeah.
We're going to go even, like, further down into more depression. I'm sorry. I got to do this. I got to address it. Did you hear that they're killing Wolverine?
Yes.
They have a 4-issue series. You're saying it's about time? I guess he's been invulnerable this entire time. So it'd be nice to see, or it'd be interesting to see how they spin it to really show his demise. Like, what are they going to do? Put him through a grinder? Like, how do you kill Wolverine?
Melt all his skin off?
But then when he just become the Terminator?
Well, you don't have a brain. You don't have a brain to run your skeleton. You're just a skeleton.
But his bones are infused with this adamantium.
Bones, but your skin's not.
Right,
your
but
tissue inside.
The skin would grow back.
How? If you completely melt it all off.
You're talking about eliminating every last piece of skin cell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. I guess that's a question that can only be answered in this 4-issue series that they're planning to put out.
It's going to be interesting. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. They say that he debuted in the comics 1974.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the 40th anniversary of that. No? Yeah? Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
40th anniversary. You think that's a magic number to sit on? I mean, if they kill him off, is that it? Are we done with Wolverine? I don't think they're going to give him up that easy.
Well, they killed Superman.
And they still
brought
him
him
back.
back.
Yeah. I mean, every character that dies, almost every character that dies comes back.
They killed Professor X in the X-Men movies, and they brought him back.
They killed the Phoenix in the 3rd one and then decided to bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. All those movies don't matter anymore. They're dead to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's how comic books work, you know. I'm just interested to see how they're going to do it. Like, that is without a doubt the appeal.
Mm-hmm. I will buy an issue. I will buy the issues for that. I think that's the same why I've bought the Archie Afterlife, where the whole Archie gang in Riverdale become zombies.
Was this after they killed Archie?
No, this is a whole different thing. The whole him dying is a different thing. This is where, like, Jughead becomes a zombie and starts eating people. It's a really good read. I don't want to spoil it. Okay. People need to go and get this series, these mini-series of Archie Afterlife. It is an amazing read. It's a great comic, very well done. Totally throws your expectations of Archie out the window.
Does it hit like a certain graphic, like a level of graphic content, like Walking Dead level of graphic of content? Wow. Yes. So you have like Jughead potentially like killing Bonnie or something, right?
Yes, ripping her head off, eating her eyes.
Oh my god.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch and her family come in. They integrate Josie and the Pussycats. And
Holy shit!
It's the whole.
Let's just kill everything.
Exactly. Let's just end it type thing.
This
And
the
it's
zombie
so far,
apocalypse. This is shit so real, and not even
Yeah.
a witch can stop it.
Well, exactly, and it's just amazing. I think it all starts with Jughead's dog, so it's a really good read. I love the style of it, the black and red nuance of it. It's just well done.
Yeah.
Check it out. By all means, if you can get the variant covers of it, do so. Because they're amazing. But yeah, like I said, I enjoy them. They're on number 6, I believe, right now. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's an amazing read. The other, what was it? The other one that I was reading that I'm like really happy with. I don't know. There's so many. There's so many comics I'm reading now that it's just. This is just one of them that I want to say.
Okay.
Just because of something I read online.
Okay.
The whole death of Wolverine, same thing. I read something. It's online. I want to see it. I want to read it. I'll buy it just for that. Yeah. Zombies.
We still love zombies, apparently. They're not
Yes.
going anywhere soon, so get used to them. If you haven't yet.
Yes.
Fucking curl up to one, cuddle with it, make love to it if you want. I mean, whatever it takes. You gotta get used to zombies.
Yes. But I think we'll have a whole podcast about zombies later on, so...
Well, I'm sure it'll happen sooner or later. I mean, Halloween's coming up.
Exactly.
If we get like a whole week straight of just nothing but spooky zombie chat, like, yeah, totally. Foreshadow.
Yippers. But speaking of deaths, quote unquote, just read that
Yeah.
the death or the loss of
The passing
the passing
of Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers of the age of 81.
What is up with 2014? This is like the year of mourning for dead comedians. Like, this isn't impacting my life as profoundly as it did with Robin Williams, but like, she's just another comedian that's gone. Like, we had a guy earlier this year whose name escapes me. The fat one, John Panette.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
John Panette. John Panette was a great comedian. Great role. If anyone ever saw the 2004-ish, 2001, I don't remember. Punisher.
But like,
he was great in that. He had great stand-up routine.
Oh yeah.
Passed away. Robin Williams passed away. Now
Joan Rivers.
But honestly, I'm not at a big loss for her. I didn't find her too funny.
No?
I think in her old age she became very senile.
Did you ever watch the Joan Rivers Comedy Central roast?
I did, but I mean, I agree with what a lot they say. I mean, my daughter's 2 or my daughter's 3,
Yeah.
and Joan Rivers has things on her that is younger than my daughter.
Yeah.
So, but still, it comes down to she was very critical, and it makes me wonder about society again, in the way that they are. Because I remember her at the Grammys, or the Oscars, where she met Adele. And Adele's a beautiful singer, beautiful girl in her right. And for Joan Rivers to call her a fatty and gross and all this stuff. There's a comedian overseas in the UK who completely shit all over Joan Rivers, and I agreed with everything he said.
There's no doubt that she was a bit of a loose cannon, but I don't know. I felt that she was a fun personality when you would like see her on talk shows and all that kind of stuff, and she seemed very like quick on her feet when it comes to like being funny to an extent. It might not be your cup of tea, or because comedy can be subjective. I thought she had some good stuff. When it came to the roast, though, I thought like she killed it. She by far probably one of my favorite. Like when the celebrity roaster comes up to do their final thoughts or their monologue, whatever. I thought she killed it. Like in comparison to any other Comedy Central roast out there, I thought she had the best sign out. But I mean, that's just my own opinion. It's unfortunate to see her go. Yes, she was 81. So, I mean, it feels a little more different. It's like, okay, now is probably about the time it should have happened. It happened during a medical procedure, unfortunately, but who knows what kind of condition she was in before that moment.
And how many medical procedures can you honestly have before it kills you?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
191.
Wait, you just look up that number?
No, I just pulled it out my
okay,
ass.
sorry. I'm like, it can't be that low.
I just made it. I was being conservative.
That's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that just happened today.
Yeah. So that was something that I originally wasn't going to talk about, but that is, and I know some people liked her, you know, hey, you know what? Two for all, you know, all for you there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's another great comedian again. You know, yeah. I liked her older stuff, you know, but loss. But I know she touched people in certain ways and made people happy and whatnot. So she was nonetheless.
To a point, she was almost an icon, and it's just unfortunate to see them go. But I mean, eventually you hit a point in your life where that kind of stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, you know, I guess it was just her time, you know. It's not like Robin Williams where it was unexpected and it just, you know, happened.
It was a shock.
You know what? If Tracy Morgan passes, that's going to upset me because he's in a pretty bad state right now with that accident that he was in a couple months back. Like, I hear he's in rehab now, which is great, but the guy's a diabetic and it's still problematic for him. And that'll just, like, I don't even know how to finish that line. It's going to be so depressing this year if that happens. And I hate it. I don't want to expect it. I'm not anticipating it, but the guy's in bad condition. Like, it could happen.
Yep. I mean, it's sad to see, you know, Tracy Morgan's in the hospital, you know, the death of John Panette, the death of Michael J. Fox's TV career.
Oh, okay.
Robin Williams, Joan Rivers.
What
did you ever watch his show?
Did that show not do good? Is it canceled?
No, it's gone.
Oh, wow. Well, I never watched it. I didn't care to. I really tried, like, the first episode, but it's not that it was him that was weird. It was just...
I thought my TV was shaking.
Yeah?
No, sorry. Bad joke.
But,
I mean, it was fun to see him joke about his situation. I think there's one joke on the trailer that always made me laugh when he's like, all right, who's hungry? And he's going to feed everybody, and he scoops the thing, and he's shaking. And then the wife says, just give me that. No time for personal victory. We're friggin' hungry.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it was the right form for Michael J. Fox. Like, he could probably get back into movies, but I don't know if I like seeing him on television.
Spin City was this huge thing, right? Before
he got the shakes?
Yeah.
No more spinning?
No. Just shaking. Yeah. I just think he's just...
We're done with putting down Parkinson's. Just hope you guys know that. Like, it's not a laughing matter. It's really unfortunate. I love Michael J. Fox. But, yeah. Yeah.
Horrible person.
2014. Somewhat of a depressing year. So far.
Hopefully the next couple of months will be better, but...
Well, Destiny comes out in 5 days. Maybe I'll forget about everything else in life.
There you go.
You know, switch off the world and escape for a bit.
Yep. Well...
So, what do we do? Should we just, like, end it here? I think this is a good time for us to do that.
I think this has been a little bit of a longer one with just you and I.
It's our longest episode, man.
So far. So again, folks, you can pick this up. You can pick the audio up, obviously, on our website. Hopefully a video format will be out at some point.
Oh, as soon as it can. For sure.
As soon as it can, so you can see it on YouTube. You can rewatch it. Hopefully, we'll have these loaded onto iTunes, so you can have them mobile on your merry way. Also, I just want to let everyone know that the Console Explosion is looking for some news writers, some editorial writers, also some YouTube shows to be featured on our website. You'll have your own spot that you can upload your videos to and be promoted as one of our community members for sure, as well as we're looking for Twitch players. You know, we have all the details on our Facebook page, so check it out. And yeah, that's enough shilling I have.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I don't know. It's my turn. Is this my turn to sign out?
Well, no, I didn't sign out. I just said this is my end of shilling.
Oh, that's your end of shilling. Okay. Well, what is a good moral of the story today? Don't buy an Ouya. It's failing.
Yeah, it's gonna be bought out. PlayStation.
$8.5 million in crowdfunding. Nobody's getting a single dollar back. And the company is trying to maybe consider software sales, but they're definitely bumping out of hardware. Anyways, moral of the story: don't buy Ouya. It's unfortunate because I really liked it. I really liked the idea.
Price point. Not for the price point.
$80?
Oh yeah. No, I'm thinking of the price point of the Steam box.
Yeah, $1,000. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's there's a range in that, but what else?
Nonetheless,
computers doing awesome things. Nonetheless,
yeah.
Good talks,
hey,
man.
Hey, you can also check us out. We'll be invading the Edmonton and the Saskatoon comic conventions, so make sure you look for our teams that will be there, covering all the stuff. And if you can't be there, check out on our website as well as our YouTube. We'll be uploading videos and snippets of the wonderful adventures of everyone.
I'm excited. I get to be at the Edmonton show.
You're one of the Edmonton people, so that should be fun.
So, I don't know. You guys might see my face on the website if you can match those two. Just, we can definitely chat it up, have some fun. Who knows? Come say hi.
Yep.
If you see me on the show floor, don't be afraid.
He does bite.
But not too hard. Just with my front teeth. Not so much the lower jaw. I mean, some teeth are loose down there, so I gotta kind of just gum it. You know what I mean? Like I'll just sit and suckle on the sleeve of your shirt, even, and I can follow you around the show floor. I'm sure it'd create a great conversation piece.
My head hurts.
Maybe they can show me some fun stuff. I don't know.
My name is Kaztech. You from beautiful Ottawa, Ontario. You can again. www.theconsoleexplosion.com and follow us on Twitter at Console Explosion. Yeehaw.
And that
is it from myself.
Yeah. My name is Matt Campbell, coming at you from Edmonton, Alberta. My Twitter is at GingyBeardyGuy. And, if you're interested, I got my own YouTube channel, Co-op Couch, The Co-op Couch Show, I should say. Search us up. We're, playing Mount Your Friends. It's a real good time.
And that's not a game. That's just what they do.
Well, yeah, we mount friends, and we even have a double-decker couch.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, yeah. It's good times.
Lego movie.
References. Love them. So, yeah, follow me. Check out my shit. And definitely check back next week for another installment of the TCX podcast.
Bingo bango. See you next time.
Good game, everybody.